Okay, let's go ahead and work on adding comments. Before we do that, let me quickly fix this line clamp here, which I still have, and obviously we don't need in here. So let's get rid of this line clamp. Okay. And now let's go ahead and make a new component for adding comments. So we already have the UI in place. You can see here. So let's do that. So PHP Artisan Livewire make. I'm going to call it add comments or add comment, but you can also name it create comment or post comment, whatever you like. Okay. And let's go ahead and go to that, add comment. Actually, let's grab what we have in our idea show. So I believe that's where this code lives. So let's look for reply here. There it is. So I'm going to move this entire thing into that component. So that would be this entire div here. Okay. Let's cut that out. Let's say Livewire add comment. And we do need an idea to be passed in, just so we know which idea to attach to the comment that's being posted. So let's pass in that idea like we've been doing. Actually, we only need the idea, but I'll just pass in the entire idea. Okay, let's go to that add comment. Let's paste that in. Let's make sure to re-indent here. Okay. And let's do the same thing we did for idea comments and just pass in the idea. Okay, let's grab this. It's still highlighted for me, which is great. Let's just paste that in here. And let's accept the idea or import the idea. Okay, so this should still render the same when I refresh, and it does. Okay, now I want to render this form only when we're logged in and show a login or sign up button when we're not logged in. So let's work on that. So right now I'm not logged in, so let's add those buttons in here. So let's go to add comment. So I only want the form to post the comment to render if we're logged in. So we can use the auth directive here. Okay, let's go ahead and indent that and auth here. And we can have an else case as well. So this is where the buttons go if we're not logged in. So let's say px4 py6. And let's put a message in here. Let's say font normal. Please log in or create an account to post a comment. Okay. And here we can have the buttons. So let's add a new container. Let's make a flex. Items center. Give it some space in between. Space X3 is what I have. And a margin top. Okay. So these will just be links, but they will look like buttons. So let's say login and register. And we'll style them after I make sure it renders correctly. So we're not logged in. And it does show, okay? So let's just style those buttons. Actually, I'm just going to paste it in to save some time as they look pretty much the same as all the other buttons in our application. Okay, so I pasted the buttons in. Let's go ahead and see how it looks. So it looks pretty good to me. So let's add the correct route. So in this case, it's just going to the login page. And in here, it's going to the register page. Okay. So when we're not logged in, we can just click this button to log in. Okay. So now let's actually log in and work on adding a comment. Okay, so now we're logged in, so the form should show up, and it does. So let's add a wire model on this text area for the comment. So where's the text area here? Here it is. Let's add a wire model on it. And I'm just going to name it comment. And let's go ahead and work on that component. So add comment. Let's add that new field for the comment that the user types in. And let's go ahead and do validation as well. So we can say protected rules equals comment, and we just want to make sure it's required, and it's a minimum of 4 characters. Okay, and let's go ahead and make a new method here to handle the form submission. Let's call it add comment. Add comment. Okay, and this is the authorization, so it's pretty much the same as what we've been doing. And in this case, we just want to make sure that the user is logged in. So let's just grab it from here. Paste that in, okay? And it's import response. Next is the validation. So let's go ahead and do that. This validate is all we have to do. And make sure we have the error directives in our view. So let's go to that actually. So add comment, and there's only one here, and it should go underneath the text area. And let's grab the error directive from our create idea component. And let's just grab this one here. Okay, just paste that in. Should be named not error, comment. And let's try that out actually. So let's say add comment for our form submission. Sorry, not that. Should be wire submit dot prevent equals add comment. Okay, so let's try that out. Reply, don't put anything in here, and it doesn't show the error message. Okay, so it's not submitting because I have 2 buttons here and it doesn't know which one the submit button is. So let's change this one to the submit button. And now it should work, hopefully. Let's refresh. And there is the validation error message. So you can leave that in if you want, but I'm just going to rely on browser validation. So let's just add the required field here. Okay. And now the browser should handle that, but we still have server-side validation. Okay. Now we can actually add the comment. So let's do that. Back here, after we validate, let's go ahead and create that comment. So comment create. And we have a user ID. And that should be the user who's logged in. And we should be logged in at this point. So auth ID. The idea is being passed in. So say this idea ID, and the comment or the body is this comment. Okay, let's make sure to import comment. Let's go ahead and emit an event. Actually, we'll do that after I verify that it works. So let's also reset the text area. So we can do this reset. And let's just say, let's reset the comment so it clears out the comment after it's submitted. So this comment. So let's go ahead and try that out. So it's not going to update this comments container yet because it's not within the same component. They are sibling components and we have to send events to each other. So let's just verify that it works and gets added to the database first. So let's refresh. Adding a comment. Okay. Okay, so it did make the request. Let's go ahead and check our database. So we have 495. If I refresh, we have 496. So if I just sort by the latest comment here, it should be up here. And there it is. So let's go ahead and emit that event. So we can do 2 things here. Close the modal and show the success message. So just like in our other components, let's take a look at one of them actually. And let's just grab this. Let's go ahead and emit a new event. Let's name it comment was added. And let's say comment was posted for the success message. Okay. So let's go ahead and go to our add comment here. Let's go back up here, and we want to listen for that event and close the modal. So it should be the same as our modal component. So let's check that. So yeah, we need this key down listener on that event. So let's steal this. Let's paste it in here. Sorry, not that one. Should be this X init. Okay. Paste that in. And the event is comment was added. Okay. And we just want to close the modal. Or sorry, not the modal, but this thing here. And we also want to show the success message in the bottom right. So let me hide this for now. And we want to see that message here. So that should be in our notification success. And we just have to add that new event here. Okay. Livewire on, comment was added. And that should be good. Okay, so let's see if that works. Actually, one more thing here. We have to listen for the event on this component and refresh the comments. So let me just grab this. Comment was added. Let's go to our idea comments. Let's listen for that event. So protected listeners equals comment was added. And just like before, let's add a new method for comment was added. And let's refresh the comments, or in this case, the entire idea, which will refresh the comments as well. So this idea refresh. Okay. So now we did 3 things here, and let's make sure that it works. So we have that new comment down here. Let's add a newer comment. Newer comment. Okay. So the modal, sorry, not the modal, the dialog should hide. The message should come up. And this container should show that new comment. Okay, comment was posted. It closed the dialog. And there is the new comment. So everything is working. So one more thing I want to add here is a badge to show if this person is the person who created this idea. So you can see the same thing in the Laracast forum. So this person, the guy, is the OP. And for any comment that he makes here, or he or she makes here, then it will show that badge. So let's do that quickly. So that's going to go in our idea comment. And I'm not sure where it should go. Let's try before the username. So let's duplicate this and let's add something new in here. So let's say rounded full border BG gray 100. PX3 and PY1 is what I have. And let's just say OP, and let's see if that looks okay. Okay, so maybe I want to put it after the username. So let's grab this and let's put it after the username. Let's make a new bullet here. And let's see how that looks. Okay, so I think I like it this way better. Okay, so now let's do a check to make sure this person is the OP. So let's add a conditional here. And let's just put this in there. Actually, this bullet should go in there too. Okay. And let's make sure it still renders. Okay. But if it is, it should render that new badge. Okay. So we have the comment here. So we can say comment user ID. So if this person who created the comment is the same as the person who created the idea, so how do we get that? So at this point, we only have access to the comment. So we can say comment. We can grab the idea. We can grab the user, and we can grab the ID. So before we do that, let's take a look at debug bar here. And you see we have 17 queries and 24 models. So now if I refresh, we have 31 and 38 now. So that's because for every comment, we now have to make a query to check if this comment's user is the same as the person who created the comment, or the idea, I mean. So again, we do have an n+1 issue here. So the problem is right here when we're doing comment idea. And we already do have the idea up here. We just can't access it from the comment component. So what we can do is when we're looping over the comments in our parent component here, so idea comments. So at this point we have access to the idea. Sorry, not this one. So let's look for the for each here. And from here we do have access to the idea, like I said. So if we pass that idea in, that idea has the user ID of the user who created that idea. So we wouldn't have to make those extra queries. So let's go ahead and do that instead. So again, in our idea comments, we do have access to this idea here, but we only need the user ID. So let's pass that in. So here, let's go ahead and pass that in. Let's say idea user ID is idea user ID. Okay. Let's go ahead and accept that idea comment right here. So let's say public idea user ID, and let's add it here, idea user ID, and let's assign it here, this idea user ID. Okay. And now it should be available in that component. So back here, instead of doing this, we can just use this here. So comment idea user ID, like this. So let's try that out. Again, keep an eye on the queries and the models. So we have 31 and 38. It should go back down again. And we're back down to 17 and 24. And now the OP badge should work. So there is no OP here because this person did not comment here. But let's go ahead and go to my ideas. Let's go to this one. And there's no comment here, but if I do add one, it should work. Adding a comment, post comment, and it didn't show. Did I do that correctly? Sorry, it's not on the comment object, it's on the actual component itself. So we can just do it like this, and hopefully this should work now. And there it is, cool. So if you want, you can extract this to a method, either on the user or the comment. So say comment, say is author, and pass in the ID user ID, like this. But in this case, since I'm just using it in one place, I'm okay with just doing it like this. So we'll end this video here, but in the next video, we'll add some nice UX additions. For example, after we add a comment, I want it to scroll to that comment and maybe highlight it a certain color for a certain amount of time. So I forgot to update this comments counter here. So if I add a comment, you'll see that it doesn't update. So let's fix that. Doesn't update. Okay, you see that this does not update. So let's fix that. Like I said, this is the same thing as our idea comments. We just have to add this listener and then add or refresh the idea. So we should already have a bunch of listeners on the idea show component. And we do. Let's just add that new one. Let me just put these on their own line. Okay, let's add that new one. So comment was added, and let's add that method. So let me just put it down here. And now it should update the comment counter. So I have 8. If I add this new one, should be 9. And it does get updated. And it's still here. Awesome. So as always, let's make a commit. This is 49. Git add, git commit episode 49. Add comments.